Where did I put my phone away?
Hi guys, thanks for joining. This is Essence of Medicine. Today we're talking about cell phone addiction. I'm Amanda Armagast.
I'm Melissa Hopper.
Dominic Moore.
I'm Dr. Abbasi for Essence, and I actually thought you're joking and you're just making fun of me
No.
when you said we are talking about cell phone addiction.
So actually, welcome. Thank you for joining. This is I forgot the word. It starts with an I. Intervention. We're doing an intervention.
Intervention towards the left, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Intervention for Dr. Abbasi's cell phone addiction.
No, so all three should point in that field. Well, yeah, you too. Come on.
Hey, as long as nobody gets to point the finger at me.
Always remember, when you point a finger, you have three pointing back at you.
No. Okay. So, actually, when in a flight or somewhere else, I don't have internet connection for whatever reason, I actually feel a physical pain.
Actually, I can attest to that as someone who has sat next to you on many airplane rides. When you don't have the internet connection, you still have your phone in your hand, and sometimes you start playing around with your sounds on your phone. So, like the last flight, I think he was doing every single ringtone that comes on the iPhone. Thank God for noise canceling headphones. I wear his, but
In the world we live in, we all have some sort of connection relationship with our cell phone.
oh,
Okay.
no doubt.
Who does go to bathroom with their cell phone and then sit twice as long there as necessary?
You really shouldn't be doing that. Actually, you should
No,
not.
but I do it.
I do
you
it.
do it. Tell me you guys don't do it.
If you're going to tell me...
Yes, I know I don't say it doubles my time, but I do take my phone in with me. I just don't
I'm
sit.
already looking at
I'm just like you. I'm in, I'm out regardless.
It depends on what I'm doing on my phone. I've been taking Duolingo classes, so that does extend my bathroom time because I
What
wanna
is
get my
better than
class.
going to the bathroom, have a bowel movement, and learn German?
I'm doing that.
All right.
But you're right, Alyssa. In 2024, everyone has a relationship with their phone. You pretty much need your phone, especially us for work. Me doing social media, I obviously need my phone for work, and you getting patient calls and communicating with doctors.
I couldn't imagine one day without cell reception.
Actually, this is kind of interesting. I do have a friend. He works in technology. You know who you are. And he has a very, very distant relationship with his phone. Now, he does have 4 phones as well. So perhaps that's a different level
One
of...
for each girlfriend?
I don't know why.
We're not patient.
But he ends up, he will leave them places. You know, if he goes to the restroom, not allowed in there. You know, phone, no. And I just
That's
kind of...
really healthy.
Well, that's what I have come to realize. But when he originally said that, I said, what are you, crazy? Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to go into the bathroom and just think?
Just sit there.
You're just going to think? Just sit there, stare at the wall?
Or
Watch the
just
paint be dry? Like, what are you doing?
go to the
As
bathroom.
I say, at work, I specifically leave my phone on my desk so that it is in and out.
And I've always thought that was crazy that you do that, because what if someone's trying to get a hold of you?
That has happened.
Well, I think everybody can wait 5 minutes.
Hmm.
If it is 5 minutes.
Not insurance companies. Yep.
Well, now,
It's fired.
okay, let's take it to the next step. I will be the advocate on both sides. Okay, let's say on the side that cell phone is an opening to the world, to the entire world. The way your eyes are opening to the entire world, your ears, your senses, practically a cell phone is an extra sensory to the whole world. Would you go to bathroom without your eyes or ears? No.
You can.
On the other side, on the other spectrum, we sort of quit learning to live without our cell phone. We don't know, like, I don't know what to do if I don't have my cell phone, because we are so used to do little snippet of information, interaction that we get from a cell phone. We are so used to that if we take it away from us, we almost have like a withdrawal kind of symptoms.
For sure. You get anxious and you're wondering.
Withdrawal symptoms.
I get really anxious, like if my phone's gonna die, then I'm thinking like, well, what if something
I know,
happens?
I have noticed that.
Let me guess. Dr. Legacy turns on or off his airplane mode before you guys land.
Mm-hmm.
I figured.
Yeah.
As soon as he feels like he's within range, he turns it on and lets those notifications blow up. I already know.
And he doesn't turn
can't wait.
And he doesn't turn his airplane mode on until like
you're in the air.
The service isn't working, until he's scrolling on TikTok and it's like, stop me.
Yeah.
I think it's natural. We do need our phones, but we also need to have some type of balance, because you can't work without your phone.
Why can you get addicted to that though?
Why can you get addicted to that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the small serotonin that you're getting, each message, each notification, that's actually why on TikTok, if you have your notifications on, you'll get more views, because TikTok wants you to look at the app. So they want you to get those notifications to get you excited to open the app.
So meaning if you have your notification on, your videos get more views.
That's
on
what
TikTok?
I've heard. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I haven't tried it.
Okay. Well, either way, it is actually a hormonal, it's a neuro, practically transmitter kind of feedback that we get from this, whatever it is. It's like gambling, the same, or addiction. At the bottom of it, many of substance addiction have the same kind of loop that you get. Your brain is really in need of those boosts, I would say, or people who go for running, or people who do anything that they think that they without that they get anxiety, and I guess cell phone is no different. But on the other side, I can tell you that I have learned a lot in those 2 minutes in the bathroom.
For sure.
Just from watching, like, yeah, it's all depending on what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you that I have learned a lot as well. So it is a double-edged sword. It's not just negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's not just negative, but it's also not just positive.
I will say that kind of relationship of, you're getting something out of it each time, you get that little bit of serotonin, dopamine, makes sense to me too, because I get very annoyed if I'm on my phone and I don't get satisfaction from, I don't feel like I learned something. I don't feel like something entertained me. And it's been like 5-10 minutes. I just go, oh, you little piece of crap. Get out of here. You little trash. What are you doing in my hands? I just wasted all this time on you and you didn't do anything for me. Just get upset with it.
Sometimes when you're waiting to hear from someone and you're kind of checking your phone, and you don't get that notification, that can also
absolutely
go the other way.
I feel like I have more of that. The anticipation, the over checking.
Well, and you're a very fast responder too with your phone.
I know somebody. If I don't respond in in 5 minutes, goes to what we call a gremlin mode. Okay, well, I have to do surgery, maybe.
You should give that person credit. You don't know what that person is going through, and that person's probably trying to work
beyond true.
Yeah, that person's probably working as well.
I can go get my taser. I get 2 of them.
We actually keep off camera.
Double face himself. But I think that some people do have a really bad addiction to their phones, because there's I'm not gonna name names, but I've been in specific meetings that are very high level meetings. No, it's actually not about you.
Oh, okay.
No, you'll be.
She's a good liar.
No, it's not. This meeting will be full of high level people, doctors, everything.
Misha, it's you.
It's not Misha. This person will be sitting on their phone, and you'll be talking to the person, asking the person questions, and the person is keeping scrolling.
Oh,
please don't say names.
Okay.
But to me, that was my first time when I saw this person doing that. I was like, wow, they have a serious addiction to their phone.
And that specific person told me that that's actually that
coping?
person's coping when that person get anxious and don't know and that sort of coping mechanism. Yeah.
To that.
Yeah.
I, from this side of things, I can openly admit that I had a heavy cell phone addiction when I was about 13 to 15, to the point where I would turn my phone on vibrate and I would take a nap, wake up, reply to a text, go back to sleep, reply to a text. My mom was concerned. She'd say, anytime I got that ding, that light up, that notification, same thing. I don't know if it was ADHD or searching for that serotonin. I had to click on it. I had to know what was going on.
But this is not new. We know from lots of people that are addicted to games, video games. Before that, we know of people who are addicted to games. Before that, we know of people who are addicted to gambling.
Yeah, the
Before
slot
that,
machines.
and so on and so forth. So I think cell phone is just a continuation of way our biology is set to get little pleasure, but repeat it and get dependent on that little pleasure, and whatever that is. So sport addiction, I would say, people who run, if they don't run we had that just somebody who was mentioning, not naming names, that almost separated or
They did break up multiple times.
because she was addicted to running, or she had to run like hours every day. That sort of practically, we are on vacation. What are we doing? I mean, I don't want to run for hours.
Yeah.
But that's exactly the point. That's why I wanted to make this podcast, is because I think that not everyone realizes that cell phone addiction is really common and it can cause problems. Like, yeah, you need your phone and your phone does teach you a lot, but there has to be a balance. Just like you use the analogy all the time about water. You can drink too much water.
You can drown in water, yeah.
Yeah, and you can use your phone too much.
Yeah.
When you were a teenager, I think all teenagers have that cell phone addiction. How did you, I guess, overcome it,
Yeah,
would you say?
without a doubt, the number one thing I did was I turned off all notifications. And to this day, if anyone looks at my phone, I do not have any notification bubbles. I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I have certain people on that need to be on. I'm just silenced from the world.
Am I on?
You are. Is on, meaning if you call me, Do Not Disturb or not, you will ring. Because that's what's important. Those little Facebook notifications that want to remind me that so-and-so shared a post, I do not need to see.
I'm just going to
distract my brain from whatever I am doing for that notification. That is how I have successfully got over that.
Lots of the social media as well use exactly this. You remember what you said? That if you have the feeling, oh, I wasted my time and so on. That is one of the tactics they use to keep you even more addicted, like this chips. Nobody eats just 1 or 10 chips, okay? So they sort of figure out what it gives you more boost in your brain and keeps giving you that, and they narrow it down, and whatever that algorithm is working. I tell to people who haven't done TikTok, I said, don't do it.
I know. Same.
That is not what you were telling me a year ago.
But it has a function with us. It has a function with us. So we teach what to lots of people through our TikToks, what we are doing.
So how would you define someone being addicted to their phone?
How do you define somebody who's addicted to heroin?
Oh. I think that one's a little bit more clear.
No,
Someone's addicted to heroin.
So let's identify it, then we can.
It's really impacting their life a lot of times.
Number one,
they can't work.
It impacts their life.
Yes.
They need it.
Two.
They get withdrawals without it.
Withdrawal. These are the two characteristics of any addiction.
And then
impact their life, like somebody's sex addict. Sex is the most normal thing, but what's a sex addict? It impacts their life. And as soon as they don't get it in that dosage, they have withdrawal. They have behavioral withdrawal kind of symptoms. What's the addiction to alcohol? Everybody drinks alcohol, or most of people do drink alcohol, and they're not addicted to alcohol. But number one, it impacts their life, and if they don't get it, then the body changes and it complains.
And sometimes you could even add on the third one of the, can you stop if you want to? Some people, they go, okay, well, yeah, drinking affects my life, but I decide to put it off for 3 weeks and I have no problem with that.
Yeah, my uncle used to say, who says cigarettes are addictive? I've quit like 20 times.
I feel like I've learned before that there's different levels of withdrawal. Like you can have physical withdrawals or mental withdrawals.
And that is very true. There are so-called receptor level physical withdrawal, like with heroin, fentanyl, Valium, And there are so-called the psychological withdrawals, like cocaine. Cocaine doesn't reset the receptor sensitivity level like heroin or morphine or oxycodone. So the withdrawal from cocaine is a psychological withdrawal. You don't get the high which your body, your brain needs once. Same, I think, with most of the other things. It's not a physical, because there is something like we have endorphin receptors. When you oversaturate it with too much, heroin, morphine, fentanyl, whatever, oxycodone, OxyContin, your body reduces the number of the receptor on the surface of the neurons. So meaning your body needs more to really get any response. Then when all of a sudden withdrawing that, it starves. Literally your brain starves. And that's where you get this horrible. Same with alcohol. Now, we are not talking about alcohol, but to this date, nobody really knows why we get addicted to alcohol. But the best understanding is alcohol solves itself in the membrane of the cells. And so it changes at what level they start shooting action potentials. And then when you withdraw, when you take it away, then literally all those neurons that are inhibitory, they go off. And then you get this hyperactive kind of overstimulation and so on and so forth. And those are physical molecular level kind of action on the cellular basis, but it's like pot. There's no addiction potential to pot
besides like psychological addiction,
like
cocaine. It's your habit.
That's cocaine. Like like overeating. That's an addiction. So, and those are psychological, meaning that it's not a physical receptor that reset the value to that amount. So, but they're well, I wouldn't say they're as hard as like heroin and so on.
No,
but they're hard enough to overcome.
I mean, it's really tough to compare like a heroin addiction to a cell phone addiction, because you can die from your heroin withdrawals. You won't die from your cell phone withdrawals.
Except you get so angry that you start trashing around in the airport.
Which is a secondary
like
offense from the withdrawal. So
COVID, they kept the liquor stores open so people wouldn't go into withdrawals.
Yeah, you can die of alcohol withdrawal. We all know that.
Yeah. When you stopped your cell phone, or like went through your cell phone addiction phase, at the end of that, did you have any psychological withdrawals?
I was to the point where I was getting kind of like Tom's, annoyed. Like I was getting to the point where it is just like too much for me. And I go, I can't keep up with it. So I was to the point where I knew I needed the change. It wasn't a withdrawal. I was ready for it. So I didn't have those symptoms, but I will admit when I was in high school and I went on a cruise, that was the first time, 7 days without a cell phone. You had it in your hand. It wasn't like it was gone. You just couldn't use it.
Yeah, I can
that
relate.
For me, I know I had quote psychological, like, oh my gosh, what is everybody else doing? It was in like 2010 or so, and sure you could buy the packages or you could go search for the Wi-Fi on the Jamaican beach somewhere. But my mom said airplane mode. It was not a smartphone. Don't turn it on. And it was like a trick.
That's brutal.
You could hold it, but you couldn't do anything with it. And you're just like...
And you're still suffering. Look at it. She's still suffering.
It's a weird thing.
Little paperweight.
Eventually you're just like, I can't let this thing have a control on me. I can't even enjoy life without it. Heck no.
Yeah. I actually had a similar experience when I was in India. TikTok was banned.
Oh yeah.
I know I told you about this a million times, but because TikTok was banned, I was kind of going
not saying anything.
to call it TikTok withdrawals. I started playing Candy Crush instead to like still stimulate myself.
That's what people do. Nicotine addiction, they overcome it with chocolate addiction, vice versa.
Yeah, but that's how I knew it was really bad, because I got to like level 600 on Candy Crush in 1 week. So that's how much time I was spending on TikTok.
Yeah, and
Monopoly.
somebody was asking me, can I use your hotspot? Can I use your hotspot? Because I still had it. But I don't know why. Can I use your hotspot? Can I use your hotspot?
Okay, now roles were reversed, and she had the hotspot and you didn't.
But it's not the case. I had the hotspot.
How would you rate your relationship with your phone?
It's really hard to say. I do oftentimes get frustrated with like the lack of entertainment that I get from it sometimes. A lot of the times that's because, for example, if I'm using TikTok, I have a 50-50 mix of things that are for me and 50-50 of what's for my fiance. So a lot of the times I go, all right, here's 10 minutes. I got maybe a chuckle. That's not worth my time. I sent her 3 videos though. We'll call it there. Like, that's good. And then I go and I do something that I know will provide me joy or entertainment.
That's pretty
Like
healthy.
what?
I'll paint or just,
But better than
Take
TikTok.
notes.
What's better than TikTok?
I don't know. I'm a man of many hobbies.
I love that.
Busted for it. You need some hobbies.
He has hobbies: sorting screws, untangling knots, putting out fires.
All
You mean making fires?
I will say one addiction I do very often if I go some time without exercising, like if we go on a vacation or something like that, then I do want a place where I can do something, or else you will find me at 5 a.m. doing push-ups in the hotel room, and that's not fun for anyone. But I will say my phone a lot of the time is really just, it's there for music and for if somebody needs to get a hold of me, and I will usually triage the people getting a hold of me. For example, my brother, I think I texted him back 3 months ago, maybe, for something that he texted me 2 months before that.
Oh my!
Just kind of
Dude, I think that might be a healthier relationship. Like my example was, I couldn't use one stimulus, so I used another one, still on my phone. Like TikTok, I can agree. A lot of times, I'm not into it anymore because of certain things that I'm seeing. So then I started learning German instead, still on my phone.
Now, I think Dom can probably relate to this. Part of what I use my phone for is strictly a distraction. I don't think diagnosed with the ADHD, but I have to do about 6 things at once. Meaning, I like to have my phone open on my desk, playing a game while I'm typing, doing some notes. I like to have that stimulation. Music's playing. It's when I'm sitting there doing nothing that I'm like, okay, this is not cool. So I use my phone almost as a coping, as just something else to get my mind. I'm more concentrated when I'm doing more things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that Monopoly Go has been going off.
It's just a tap away, a little serotonin.
Sponsored by Monopoly Go.
Wish.
Relationship with your phone.
Very intimate.
It goes to the bathroom with him. What do you mean? Come on. I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom with him.
Yes, goes to the bathroom.
Do you take your cell phone in the shower with you? Not in a weird way. I have friends that will put their phone in a Ziploc bag. Ziploc bag. In the phone with
she said the home break.
It won't break.
Yeah.
You don't need a Ziploc.
It's safe. Yeah, you can just bring it in there with you, and you just.
It's a different level of cell phone addiction.
For those of you who bring it in the shower, you're okay. Don't let him teach you otherwise.
I actually have a problem with silence. I need my phone to make my house not silent. My entire car ride home, I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook. I get home and either I'm continuing my book or I'm scrolling on TikTok. I get in the shower, I put my phone like on my shower caddy. I'm scrolling. It's just a way to kind of make it less quiet.
My point.
No, see, my phone is too important for me to get wet and not working and so on. So
even if it gets wet, it'll still work. Trust me.
No, sometimes when you get wet, it doesn't charge.
Yeah, but then you go on YouTube. There's actually like the sound that you can play, and it pushes the water out of your.
This is true.
Out of your thing.
You prop it up like
So
this.
you learn
You play the sound, and you just.
From a TikTok and the cell phone addict, you learn.
All right.
That you go to YouTube, you play a sound that pushes out all the water out of.
And if you want to know how old I am, I would put my phone in rice.
Oh my gosh, this takes so long.
I don't know any other.
Nobody got time for that.
Me. Oh no, I dropped my phone in water. What would you do? I would say put it in rice.
Well, it sucks actually. That's a good point. It sucks that all 3 of us are pretty much the same age because I have I have some curiosity around other people who are younger. Is
Mhm.
their phone addiction worse than ours? Because at least when we grew up, there was a time where we did not have,
Mhm.
even my dad, I remember when he got a cell phone, we had home phones. So,
But by the way, what happened ever to home phones?
well, I still had
Nobody-
a home phone.
My mom we
My-
still have one because it comes with our cable package.
I see.
My grandma has a home phone and she will only answer her home phone. She doesn't
that
answer.
right?
Yeah. If I call her on her cell phone, I already know she's not going to answer. And it's probably because, like, I'm probably calling her because she didn't answer her home phone.
Honestly, I would be awful with the home phone because I wouldn't want anyone calling it. Don't call my home.
Don't talk to me.
I'm not home. Don't call me.
That's a TikTok. Take your old home phone, take it with you to bathroom. Do that. I bet that goes viral.
We'll just take one of the ones from the podcast.
Phone, aka what, 5-10 years? Not even. You can
Wasn't
still buy them.
Yeah.
They're not
I'm actually
old.
upstairs. I have tons of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Plane
exist.
lines.
The dinosaurs are out
What
there.
about those phones that the rotary phones?
Oh
You
my
guys
gosh.
even know those?
Dial-ups? Yeah.
That you just turn
My
them
grandma
and
has
then
one mounted on her wall at home, and it still works.
Such a vibe.
Why?
Is it?
I want to say it's peach.
Okay.
Peach or
that is
green, I
exactly
can't
what
remember,
I was
but
hoping.
it's like a whole 60s.
When we were in California, actually in a yard sale, I saw one. I was so close to buy it. It's like it was from 1930s, beautiful with mahogany kind of thing. And you turn and then that is why 911 is 911 because
Oh, cling, cling, cling.
because first of all you don't want to be easy that accidentally, but so the first one is 9,
Mhm.
so it has to go click click click, but then the other two are 1-1,
Mhm.
so that you can't. It's not. It's hard to push it accidentally or dial it accidentally,
Mhm.
and that's where thing comes dialing a number
I think
because you.
I think back to phones, you're talking there, and I'm talking back to when we had our, flip phone that you had to press the number 4 times to get a certain letter, and it took forever to text. Could you imagine if we still had those flip phones, how much communication via text? I would not send
Well, you don't send
texts like that anymore.
You would send like very specific texts, like they'd be so
Come
abbreviated.
now.
Yeah, like abbreviated.
U for YOU.
Right.
Nobody does that anymore.
8 for like
Not especially with
ITE.
autocorrect on text messaging anymore.
Yeah, I do judge abbreviations pretty hard.
my grandma uses a lot of like my grandma will text me and say, "How are you?" Like, "How are you?" So
Give her
yeah,
a break.
Actually, I say give her credit.
She's more
I
into it.
didn't know you get this far, Grandma. Good job. Good
Right.
job.
But
I thought I was just going to text that said how.
I'm curious about what's going to come of phone addictions for these children who are growing up right now, because I was talking to someone yesterday about like how we're always on our phones, always on our iPads. And I remember during summer vacation, there would be commercials on the TV that are saying like, we're not going to have any TV shows for an hour. Go outside and play.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, then I go to the next channel.
Yeah, me too. Now, here's the thing that we have to think of the reverse is we know technology is not slowing down.
So yes,
if
what's
we
going to
take our-
be?
If we take our kids or phones or technology away from our kids, I'm not saying take it away, but if we take it away, they're going to be behind. We're setting them
Oh,
behind.
they're going
But
to be very behind.
What is going to be in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? What do you guys think?
Glasses that they're coming up without you having to touch. Someone just had an implanted device
It's
in
going
which
to
they
be-
don't have to use their hands for a phone.
It'll be
but-
implanted.
Yes, that's the interface. That's the interface. But what's behind it is even more important.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like-
I can't even wrap my head
What do you
around it,
think?
I'm sure.
What do you think in 10, 20, 30 years?
Virtual reality stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Well, certainly that Neuralink and so on, but
Mhm.
Elon Musk is working is an option, but that's not going to be there as soon as you think it's going to be. What I think is going to be, especially with artificial reality intelligence, is that your phone is going to be your personal buddy assistant, your best friend, and you talk to your phone, and the same way you type it right now, it answers it to you, and it develop a personality that will follow you through your life. So it's going to be the first and the last friend of every human being on planet, this artificial reality that is adjusted to you and to you only. And I don't see it as a bad thing, because I see how many people die alone. I see that. I see, they say everybody dies alone. I think soon not anymore.
Now, I'm not anti that, because I agree that, especially with the struggles we have there. But I also know that I don't go and look for things that I already have. Meaning, if I have cereal at home, I'm not going to go to the store to go get more cereal. If I have a friend in my phone, why go out and look to go do things? Why go find somebody to do things? Why go do this? I already have it.
And that's already a problem now.
Right. It's already a problem without that little piece of it.
But see this from way, okay? Imagine your cell phone, your artificial intelligence, long in the future is your very best friend. And you want to go just eat, but you just don't want to eat alone. You say, hey, my personal best friend, find another person that want to go to the same hotel or restaurant and so on, just to have a dinner and so on. And instead of you doing the work, it goes and just the work. Hey, somebody with similar, and then they know you, and his artificial intelligence knows him. They decide if you are going to get along or not. And then imagine the possibilities that would provide to humanity as a whole. Or imagine I'm so involved in doing, for example, a project, and I am in the airport. I'm just here for half an hour, and there's somebody else who's as well working in the same area. See how much we can interact with each other and learn from each other in that half an hour that we are going to kill in the airport anyway. Imagine my artificial intelligence connect to all the artificial intelligence in that airport and say, hey, you guys should have a coffee right now, because you can achieve so much.
I don't know if I want everybody in the airport.
Then you don't. You see that you're in charge.
Cook.
So, two things. First one is the idea of an artificial intelligence that is just your friend. This is the person that unfortunately exists, and it is very popular. There are plenty of places you can go for very free. You can get 600 messages a day from an AI that is set to learn your personality type, and you can design whatever relationship you want it, platonic or romantic. And then if you want more than 600 messages, you can pay and all that sort of fun stuff, yada, yada, yada. That is very real, and it kind of takes off.
That you grow up with, and it's always with you.
Okay,
yes,
but
that's why I think you're very correct that is going to become a thing. I'm very scared of that one. I love the idea of the artificial intelligence that is more of a personal assistant for your life. It facilitates things, facilitates those meetings with other people, and you can bounce ideas off of it if you want. It's like a quality assistant. You go, hey, today I just want to see what you think. So maybe we just work on stuff together. Or all right, tomorrow I need you to find somebody that's on my level that I can communicate with.
I would love nothing more than to say, hey, facilitate a time for a Teams meeting with Amanda, and then our Google calendars just come up with the time and it's there. I would have no problem with that. I am a little eerie, but I've always been a little eerie to change. I come around.
So with your theory that you have, there's still this part of human interaction. So at the end of the day, humans will still be talking to each other. But I have a question. Have you ever interacted with an iPad kid?
iPad kid.
It's like very actually more common than normal children. It's when the parent doesn't really want to spend time with the kid, so it puts an iPad in front of the kid. So from the time the kid is like 1.5, it has this tablet. It's always playing games. These children cannot communicate. They cannot. A lot of them are not verbal, like low verbal skills. And they have no social skills because they don't communicate. They only communicate with internet.
We talked about water, too little, too much, and so on. I get it.
Try and remove that device from these children. It is that type of, it's not just like, here's your discipline. It is like removing their arm from their body, and until you reattach it, they can't function.
So let me now be the devil advocate. You guys think you're great as an assistant and so on. And I'm going to do Lily. You love Lily, right?
Yeah.
You think Lily loves you too, right?
Go for it, Lily.
Okay. What about somebody who has pet like a snake pet? Love the snake pet. Do you think the snake love love that person back?
Yeah.
What about the person who has an ant?
I don't know.
People have ants, ant
I don't
colonies
know
and
much
so on.
about ants, but
You think they love him, that person back?
I can't really answer that question because 2 years ago, if you asked me that about chickens, I would say no. But now I would say
So
maybe.
what I'm getting at, let's continue that conversation. Some people, you guys may not know that, they had a electronic pet called Tamagotchi.
I used to have one.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah, we're right in that area. We're just the cusp.
So they loved their Tamagotchi, and they would cry. They would have a funeral for their Tamagotchi. It's an electronic thing. You have to do certain thing, like feed it in certain way.
Mhm.
But if you do not take care of it, it would die. Literally, the device would die. I mean, it was really up for a few years, and then for it. It is at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if they love you back. It's about your emotion for them that makes that relationship real.
Mhm.
And what I'm getting at, if that artificial intelligence talking to you, communicating with you, helping you, you will have a relationship with it. And that's all matters. It doesn't matter if it
Yeah, but
gives
that's
you
not
emotion back or not.
that's not really what we're saying.
But what I'm saying, you cannot secure yourself to say, yes, I want it as an assistant, but I won't have a person. I don't want to have a personal relationship. You will
That'd
not
be
be able to.
impossible
You
to
will not be able to separate that in the future,
I agree.
because
Yeah, true.
that the person who's and that's whatever it is. I'm calling the person, but is going to tell you good night at the last person and can say good morning as the first person, wake you up, help you in your daily activity, and you're depending on that device. And who knows, in 40 years, who knows, they won't have. But what is human emotion? Who says that only a biological nervous system can have that and not the artificial one?
Yeah. Oh man, that's a concept we've got. Media again and again. 50 years we've been going at it. So I believe.
My thought here is, imagine this. Like, I already believe that our phones listen to us and they hear us. Now, in that side of things, imagine your phone hears you and I'm having a really bad day and it can tell. And then it just sends, like, I'm over here like, Tom, man, I'm feeling like not worthless. And then all of a sudden I get a quote that tells me to keep on going. And, we want you here. You're worth it. You're changing lives. And you're just like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Like that part of the connection and the listening, I could see maybe a little creepy at times, but I could get behind that for sure.
I was thinking you were going to go the opposite direction with this, where you're having a bad day and you're like, Dominic, I hate my phone. My phone is the stupidest AI ever. I bet yours is so much smarter than mine. And then you wake up in the middle of the night and your phone is like, hey, Alyssa, I heard what you had to say about me today.
There's this joke going on TikTok that this guy's driving and say, hey, Alexa, how's the weather today? And that the Siri says, who's Alexa? So, sorry, how's the weather there? No, who is F Alexa? Like, okay, don't mind. How's the weather? Why don't you go how the weather is? And so
Sometimes I do tell Siri that she's not as good as Alexa.
yeah, but that's seriously.
Why would you do that?
She does not.
She cries.
I do not care. She
Okay, let's try that out. Let's try that out.
Honestly, I do. I hate.
Okay, let's try that.
Siri.
Hey Siri, Alexa is so much better than you.
Sir.
See what I'm saying?
See? She's broken.
And she should work harder. Honestly,
So this is why I think that the AI as an assistant.
Wait. Hey Siri, is it true that Alexa is much better than you?
What
doesn't even go there.
Can't handle it.
No, I think she's very similar to you. Yeah, that's what I want to say. She's very similar to you.
I hate Siri.
But
Hey,
I think
a little bit of ourselves that we hate.
the idea of an AI that works as an assistant and is your friend, solid. As long as it also has the functional part to it as well. Because a lot of the times, the ones that I mentioned that do exist now, it's more of that parasocial relationship where essentially this is somebody who seeks a human relationship through artificial intelligence first and doesn't really get any productive function from it. That, to me, as long as that one is not the principal function of it, I'm fine with. Because, for example, my AI was just my friend. Well, I mean, I can ask my friend to do something, but if he says no, I'm like, okay, well, all right, man, respect. Sure, you have your own autonomy. My assistant says no. Well, fine, screw you. Undownload, get another one. Like,
That's exactly that's the problem with Siri.
There is another joke on TikTok going around that this guy is asking, where is the next McDonald's? So you don't need another McDonald's. Here's the direction
Subway.
to him.
Subway, damn.
Okay, asking me, hey Siri, how can I find a girlfriend? Say, you cannot. Here's the direction to therapist. And so
Okay, but
that's a joke. We are not far away from
what
that.
did you tell? Well, it's a loaded question. I say, what did you tell Dominic and I? He says the best assistants are those that know the next step before it comes
in the OR.
in the OR. Well, imagine your
in real life.
phone. I say in real life too. Imagine your phone knows your routine before you do. They know that your alarm has to be at this time due to this and this and this. If they're one step ahead of you, that will be the best assistant.
No, your phone is getting there because my phone at least kind of has an idea of when I'm leaving for work and things like that, and will tell me traffic is heavier at this time and things like that. So your phones are getting more attached to your schedules.
Even if we go with just Alexa as an example, there is a function on there where basically you can have it repeat a certain set of things that you want it to do at a certain time that or a certain stimulus happens. So for example, when I get home, I just say, Alexa, I'm home, and it gives me news for the day. It gives me a quick little trivia question, and then it starts to play some music for me.
Yeah, mine does that too.
No, you told me something about that. You're saying, Amanda, compliments. Tell me about that. What is that?
Well, resolved. I told Alexa to give me a compliment every day, so then every day at 7 a.m. she says compliment.
Just more compliment. Not that you're beautiful or beautiful or something. Hey, Amanda, compliment.
And same with, I said, give me a No.
Positivity.
No. Alexa said, do you want a positivity reminder? And I said, yeah, give me a positivity reminder every day. And so the positivity reminder is just reminder, positivity. And it actually pisses me off.
Motivational quote. No, you can do it.
No.
Spread sunshine.
But now every day at 7:45 a.m., so that's like when I'm pretty much making my lunch, she tells me a fact.
Yeah. Nice.
Fact. The sky is blue. Thanks, Alexa. Appreciate that.
Don't start that. Not here. We don't have time for the sky is blue.
No, I think we sort of getting toward the end of our meeting.
It's almost 2, so yeah.
I was going to say, we definitely kind of evolved from cell phone addiction to the future of AI,
But which is very connected.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think the cell phone addiction is just going to keep increasing. I think it'll be similar to a coffee addiction, where it's just totally normal. I'm listening.
I have both these problems, actually. What's going on here?
So you're all addicted to water. Try not to drink water for a week.
Bet.
Is that the doctor's recommendation?
What? Not drink water? No. But it is going to be a necessity of life. There's nothing we can do about it.
That's what I'm trying to get at too at some point when it says, kids screen times limiting this and that. At some point, they need to be integrated into this technology. They need to feel comfortable before they get into the school system.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, kindergartners nowadays are almost, I don't know what percent, but they're tablets. They're computers.
Certain point as well that we have to let the technology bring the kid to the yard. Like, the technology says, as if it's truly artificial intelligence, hey, you have had enough that. Look at that. I talked to the artificial intelligence of that kid in the yard. Why don't you go and join him? He wants to play and so on. So you see a reminder. The technology once becomes smart enough, there will be a qualitative change in the technology that it'll take care of its shortcoming. That is what I would say. I'm a positive. I'm an optimistic person.
I think a big part of it is, learning how to ride that wave.
What's going on?
He goes, I'm an optimistic person. Straight face.
What?
I bought it. I don't know. I still buy it.
What? I'm an optimistic person. I'm a technology optimist.
Technology optimistic.
I'm a,
You didn't say that.
I'm a technology optimist.
What is the word?
I'm so jealous. I feel like I missed like a huge part of the joke because I don't know. I believe it.
Positive and optimistic, and then we go like he's more pessimistic, and he goes, "No, I am," and then he gives
Realist.
me this word.
He's a realist, he
No,
says.
there's a
What is the
different word. We had a whole
I'm a
podcast.
rationalist.
That's
I don't think that was it.
No, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, as though we slid in nihilist or something.
Optimistic.
I'm a existential nihilist.
yeah.
But
That's more
but-
like what he
but
said.
That's pretty
for,
optimistic.
see, I'm nihilistic for myself, but for the humanity, I'm very optimistic.
Oh, good, good. That
For
makes me feel better.
humanity, and that is based on data. No, so
This is a big sandwich right here.
I'm with this guy.
So, no, humanity has been never better, and there's every
What has
indication
never been?
humanity has been haven't had it ever better than now, and it's just going to get better. Just even a generation ago, you would go and kill 1 million people and get away with it.
Oh, now you're killing 2 million people and still getting away with it.
No, it's not the same. It's,
Hmm.
Humanity is getting better. Maybe not for me. So that's where the existential nihilists mean.
Hmm.
But overall, there's less hungry people. There is than today than ever before. There is less violence today than ever before, even with everything you hear. And now there's more cell phone than ever before. So
That makes it so much better.
I know. Yeah.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If the AI, if the cell phones can encourage you to have, like, that's what I really like about cell phones and social media is it does open up a lot of doors for relationships and communication and things like that. So if it can still influence that, great. It is helping us be smarter, but at the same time, it's helping us to rely on technology because I can't do fast math really without my phone.
I would not be able to travel without my phone.
I would barely. Be
I
able
would
to get to the store.
struggle.
Yeah.
Okay. Just give in. Just live with it. That's fine. That's what that
have.
Rumi. That's what that Rumi poem is about.
I see you want to end with this
Yeah.
quote.
You want to read it?
Okay, late by myself in the boat of myself, no light and no land anywhere, cloud cover thick. I try to stay just above the surface, yet I am already under and living within the ocean.
So meaning that you struggle, but once you give in, the
What's
struggle ends. The struggle ends, and then so that does not mean that you don't try to strive to be better, but I can tell you, they are not going to go away.
Yeah.
So live with that, accept that our society, our life has become addicted to a technology that, like any other technology, overall is much better for us than if the time we didn't have it. But as well comes with downside that we have to understand and react to.
Work within it. Like for example, when I was a child, the whole wave was coming up of children don't want to go outside so much anymore. And I don't know if because they didn't care or whatnot, but I was not forced to go outside. Instead, I was given alternative indoor activities, I like to read and whatnot. I would play and build Legos. And so I still like to build and create things.
Share to people.
I was forced outside,
I mean,
which is not a bad thing.
In
Trust
my
me,
own
I see forced like a bad thing.
I don't know. I feel like forced. Regardless. In my time, I did wander outside to do occasional activities. I dug a very large hole that I enjoyed.
That's so dangerous.
Yeah, well, it was really dangerous when it reached 11 feet and I was a child, but
That is so dangerous.
they're in with me.
Kids die from that all the time.
Not me. Wait, did I die? We don't know, though. I mean, it's hard to prove that this is real.
Whoa, guys. Different podcast.
Sorry, one
Great
last thing.
transition.
I just want to say something about my childhood. Actually,
I died when I was 11.
when I was growing up, the city next door to me was called Osseo, Minnesota. This is about outside. We actually had at 6 p.m. every day a tornado siren that was supposed to remind the parents, like, where's your children? And then have the children go home for dinner.
We have that too.
You really?
It's called literally. We call it the supper whistle.
Okay.
Don't call it supper.
Yeah.
No, literally, there's a 6 o'clock.
How we make optimists?
There's a 6 o'clock whistle, and that was you knew what time it was when you were outside. Oh, it's 6 o'clock dinner time.
They don't
Go
have
inside.
that. They don't have that in that city that I lived in anymore. But yeah, I think it's cute.
Devastating.
A little bit of a transition. Thank you guys for watching. This was Essence of Medicine. Today we talked about cell phone addiction. I'm Amanda Armagoss.
I'm Melissa Hopper.
Dominic Moore.
And I'm Dr. Abbasi for Essence. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.